All right. Here we go, folks. I guess I should say this at the beginning. Welcome to Coding with Jess, where you code along with me while I build a thing. It's a little bit of an unusual episode for Coding with Jess, and what a day to be live streaming. Yeah, it's been quite the day. I had planned this live stream a couple days in advance, and it turns out that just a couple of hours before starting the live stream, both Chat OpenAI released GPT 5.3 and Anthropic released Opus 4.6. So yeah, we're about to have some fun using both of those in a way that I had already planned we would do in today anyway. So we're gonna rock and roll and get started on this. Let's see. I want to make sure that I can see chat from folks who might be interacting via the chat. So I'm gonna log into this session really fast, and then we will get started. And I'll talk about what we're gonna work on today. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Twitter. Normally I have all this stuff logged in to begin with, but today has been a little crazy, and I'm also trying a new multi-streaming setup. So this should be hopefully streaming to Twitter and Twitch/Blue Sky and YouTube all at the same time. Let's see how that works. All right, so should be able to see chat here in just a second. Okay, so what are we working on today? So I have been using a tool called Conductor and been doing sort of multi-agent work in Conductor for, I don't know, months and months now. Kind of gotten used to the process of like the flow of setting up work, doing plans, getting multiple agents running simultaneously, all that kind of stuff. But as fun as that is, and as amazing as that is, I also think that what got us here ain't going to get us there. Like, there's a cap that you hit when you're working with multiple agents. Most people talk, it's like seems to be around 5 that people run into that challenge where they just can't wrap their head anymore around around all the complexity, and you need like another layer of abstraction above that. That layer does not exist yet. There's people who are exploring it and that kind of stuff. But I thought, as I talked with people about the change to this higher level of abstraction, what I realized is that most of you are not actually running 5 to 7 agents simultaneously. Like, you haven't even hit the ceiling that I've hit. So when I'm coming in and saying we need an autonomous software factory, you're like, why? I already have this amazing tractor, and I can sometimes run 2 of them at the same time, and I can work all night because the tractor just needs token gas and go, go, go. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Don't, you will hit an upper bound, and there's a breakthrough beyond that as well. So today I want to talk about that, and not just talk about it. I'm going to show it. All right. So I have been working on an app called LifeBuild. You can find LifeBuild at lifebuild.me, and the code is all available. I've been working on this since, I guess, July of last year. The particular application that I'm working on right now, while you should definitely go check it out, it's very cool and all of that. That is not what this stream is mainly about. I just need something to be working on. This is my real production application. It's in alpha with a few people, and it's just gonna serve as fodder for us in like understanding and like experiencing this upper limit of we can have multiple agents running at the same time, but then we run into problems. Let's like give you a real quick overview. So the goal here, I'm going to give you a real quick overview of LifeBuild. I'm going to talk about the next set of tasks that I have lined up for LifeBuild. I've got this little planning board here that I use to keep track of like what's coming next. We're going to assign a bunch of tasks to agents in Conductor, and we're going to do the process of kind of shepherding all of those agents through their features all the way through to like in production software over the next, we'll say 1 hour. And so this will be a pretty rapid fire stream, but hopefully it can be like a recording that I can point people to and say like, here's what my development process looks like circa February of 2026. The other fun thing we'll be doing while we're on this stream is I will continue to be coming here and clicking check for updates and waiting for the latest version of Conductor, because as soon as that hits, we can actually start using Opus 4.6 and GPT 5.3 to add them in to our conducting madness. All right. So before we get started, what the heck is LifeBuild and what are we doing to it? So LifeBuild is a productivity application that has agents living inside of it that helps you basically organize your life. You could almost think of it as like a normie version of Claudebot, where you actually can like organize some of your life projects. This is my actual LifeBuild. I had a whole bunch more projects in here that I had to clear out. Well, that should say Live Store. What the heck? Live Store. Do. I don't know why it says that. All right, there we go. So yeah, this is my actual production life build instance. I've got a whole bunch more projects that I want to add to it, but today we're going to fix some of the bugs that I've learned about in the last like 24 hours on the actual app because I shared this with some alpha users yesterday, got some feedback. Have already fixed some of their bugs, but now I want to fix more of them. All right, so let me give you like a real quick walkthrough of what you can do in life build. I'm going to add a new project. Let's see. Helping my parents prep to move. Actually, BBDP monthly meetings. Let's do that. So let's say this is Marvin. He's like my planner agent. That's like always available to me. I'm going to jump in and create a new project. Or actually, let's just do it with Marvin from the beginning. Yo, I am planning out the BBDP meetings, beer and books by dead people, that I do once a month. I think we've talked about this before. Um, I need to send out invites for Feb meeting and put together a Google Doc to share with people about the Feb material. Can you create a project? Probably bronze for now. Actually, this is definitely a silver. We can talk about bronze, silver, gold, and the rationale behind it, but this is setting up a system by which I can continually do this over and over again, so it would be silver. Can you create a project, silver, and we'll populate it. All right. So Marvin's doing some stuff. If you're curious about the technology behind this app, it's pretty cool. It's running on top of a sync engine called Live Store, which is a SQLite backed sync engine that does some good stuff. All right, project name. Actually, let's say BBDP meeting automation, so we can like make this happen more often because I have these monthly anyway. Two. That's fine. Three. Category would probably be leisure. Getting together and talk about philosophy while drinking beer is my idea of a good time. Feb meeting is last Friday in Feb at 8 p.m. All right, sweet. So he's doing that thing. Yeah, you can check out the GitHub repo at sociotechnica.org or sociotechnica-org/lifebuild and kind of see a real live store app that's built on top of and also, like I said, I've been building this since last July and using a very agent first kind of approach here. Ooh, error, cannot advance to stage 3 or higher without objectives. Okay, cool. Yeah. So it's solving its own problems here. I have a pretty debug friendly, or Boito says I'm typing on a keyboard. Yeah. I would normally be using Super Whisper, but you wouldn't be able to hear the audio. I need to like reroute the audio so that it gets routed through the recording so you can hear it and that kind of stuff. But anyway, all right. So you got a kind of an idea of what Live Store or like Life Build is about. I'm basically, as I go through this process, getting meetings ready, I can go through and add tasks. I'm gonna ask Marvin to draft the tasks for me. Come on, Marvin. So Marvin is a tool using agent that has access to Live Store directly, like the underlying data model here. So as he's going through and adding projects, just throw all these in and I'll edit. Let's go. just make some tasks, yo. I'll go through and edit them. This is one of the cool things about Life Build is that it's like an agent-enabled environment or whatever the kids are calling them these days. I've had an idea of wanting to build these for a long time, but as it uses tools and adds things in here, I can come and change their status right on the fly and not overwrite because this is like inherently a multi-user application where the agent is one user and the agent is one user and the humans are users and they're on the same parity. Like everything that I can do in the application, the agent can do via tool usage, and so we can kind of use it collaboratively, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I need to set a deadline for this one. I really need to do this by end of this week, just to give people enough time to read through the material. So we'll set that to tomorrow. Let's see. All right, this looks good, looks good. All right, he's going to continue going, so I'm just going to like cancel out and go on to do something else, which is cool. Like, doesn't stop him from continuing to do what he needs to do. Let's go over to this guy and add to the sorting room. Okay, the sorting room is super ugly right now. This is one of the things I want to fix today. So this is a silver task. I can go ahead and click activate, or a silver project. I can click activate. I was working on lowering my LDL cholesterol. If you want to learn about LDL cholesterol, I'm happy to talk your ear off about that. But my new like top priority silver this month or this week is automating beer and books by dead people. Every project has a little Kanban board in it, and again, you can see that Marvin has continued to add tasks as we've gone on and done other stuff, and they just magically appear here. If I go back over, I'm sure Marvin will be telling me all about the tasks added. There they are, 16 tasks created, and you can see there's 16 here in the to-do list. All right, I think that's enough about Life Build. Let's get into building. All right, how's the computer use doing on 5.3? That's a great question. I don't have any computer use stuff for 5.3 just yet. Let's see if, check for updates. Come on, Conductor. Give me the latest version. All right, so as I mentioned, we have an app. It's called Life Build. We have some things we want to do in Life Build. So this is my Life Build planning board. This is actually, I guess it is private on GitHub, but I use this for managing what's coming next. So the main project that I'm working on now is alpha fast follows. So let me go ahead and move that over here. We launched the alpha just yesterday. So it's time to do some of these fast follows that I want to get done. All right, reduce friction in stage 3. Let's read through these real quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick some of these tasks and then assign them to agents and get them started on them. So let's see, fix the activate label to match documentation. It says you can drag a project there, but you actually can't, or click activate table if there's no button. There's a button that says, okay, so yeah, the button is currently, change the button label to activate the table. Yeah, that definitely is the better way to do it. I'm going to update this and say, so this is a pretty small change, but it's a good place to start. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and copy this link. Or actually, I can go ahead and, all right, now I'm in Conductor. If you haven't seen Conductor before, it's basically, I get sessions on the left over here, which are effectively Claude Code or Codex sessions. And actually, you can use them interchangeably on the same work tree. Each of these is a work tree, so I'm working like independent of the main branch. Let's see. So this one, the nice thing here is I can just hit, I think it's Command I, yeah, and I can give it that link, and it will find 472. Yo. There we go. All right, so I've attached issue 472, and I can just say implement and follow and create a PR per ClaudeMD. Really no need to do the ClaudeMD thing, but it kind of gets it going. This one's so small that there's enough in here that I don't even need plan mode. There's plan mode right here that I can enable using Shift Tab. I'm not even going to do that. And we'll get that one started. Let's take a look at the next task. So this should be in progress. I can close that one and look up the next one. Let's see, make empty table slots actionable. Yeah, That should definitely be. So one of the things that's annoying about the UI right now is the table is really confusing. So the table is intended to be your kind of current most important things, like the sort of like this week. This is my plan for this week. Um, there's a gold, silver, and a bronze slot on the table, but it's not clear what to do when it says empty. Like there should be some other way of indicating, hey, here's the thing I want to go do. The way to what to do about it is to go to the drafting room and create a new project. But we could actually do that as the way to, we could make this like a new project link, create new silver project or something, and have it open a new project with, is silver on the next page? Yeah, it's on stage 2, which is kind of annoying. All right, let's jump back over here to work in progress. Let's see, but that's a perfectly reasonable one to do. Let's pick it up. Let me see, what does it say is the solution here? Make empty table slots clickable, link to the sorting room filtered to that stream, or add from backlog. Oh, that's a good point. So there's 2 different ways to think about this. But I think link to sorting route filtered to that stream is the way to do it. And it probably should be add. Oh, that's interesting. I like the show add to backlog action and open a quick select. Let's try that. Actionable. All right, this one's a little more complicated. We want to make sure that it's using the right components and stuff like that. So for this guy, let's go open a new workspace. This time we're going to put it in planner mode and get ready. It looks like this one's almost done. Plan mode. Right, let's see, hit I to attach it, put in 473. There's enough info in this in this issue that just hitting return, make a plan in plan mode would be sufficient. So we'll see what Opus comes up with here. Both of these are front end changes. So kind of my rough way I think about it is if it's front end focused, I'll do Opus. If it's back end or crossing across the whole system or maybe like significant refactoring, I do Codex. And yeah, Opus does slightly better with UI stuff. I have noticed that Opus can get a little bit overwhelmed with a really complex system, which I do have. This system overall is a monolith that has like multiple, not a monolith, has multiple packages like a server type package, a sync worker, there's an auth worker, so kind of like little microservices or straight up just services. All right, go ahead and set the, don't know if they've gotten to, I gave a little instruction in Claude.md to like set the task to in progress mode, but I'm not sure if it's actually doing it or not. But we'll go ahead for our own sake. We'll just so that we can see what's in progress. We'll go ahead and mark that as in progress. All right. So what else can we do? These are all kind of small. I'd like to do something a little chunkier. Ooh, yeah. Here's a good one. On iPad, there's some problems with vertical scrolling. Let me see if I can replicate them real quick. Let's create a new branch here. I guess I could do the simulator. Let me go ahead and install those components. Yeah. It's possible that I can do it with Chrome DevTools and like replicate it, but we have some issues with the way we're doing things. All right, so I've started a new work stream here. I'm gonna go ahead and hit run workspace. Run workspace. I have a pretty advanced, not advanced setup. I just have a lot going on here. So if like open cursor real quick, which I don't normally do, but it's helpful to kind of show you what's going on. Let's see. So in the packages directory, you'll see that there's a web worker, a server, a worker, which is actually a sync worker. I need to rename that. And then auth worker and post hog worker. So these guys all have to be stood up and configured to work together. And that's what's happening over here in the run. I have a conductor.json thing that stands all of them up and gets them all talking to each other, sets their env variables appropriately relative to one another. All right, so now I'm not exactly sure what's going nuts over here. Did I have a localhost 6000 up? No. There's some weird looping happening. Huh. Have not seen. Okay, looks like it's settled down now. There was a lot of back and forth there that I didn't expect. All right, so we're gonna go create a new account real quick. And we're now on a dev server that's running locally. This is something that eventually I'll get working with like remote preview branches, but this is fine for now. There we go. All right, so now we're logging in to Life Build locally, and what we're looking for is some weird stuff in the way that the UI presents itself. So we're going to go down to this guy, set this to like an iPad Pro. Oh, the problem is that there's an overhang in Safari that that causes things to be pushed down. I could probably just tell Opus about it, and it would be able to fix it. But I really want to be able to verify the fix. That's the important part. Is you need some way to like know that it's working without having to deploy all the way to production. You want that loop to be shorter. So let's see if the simulator has finished downloading yet. Come on, come on, come on. Do do do. Is there like a weird popping noise coming through every now and then? I see the like audio levels spike every now and then, like a bam, bam, and pop over. Come on, we only got two of these guys running. So both these guys are close to done. Oh, good. This one's already created a PR. Let's see. What are we doing here? Oh, yeah, I've got a plan to look at. See, this new mode in Conductor doesn't show me when someone's ready with a plan. I'm going to turn off this workspace status experimental feature. There we go. Now, see, there's a little plan icon and a thing that says review plan. I really need to know that so I can come over and check out what the plan is. And that other new mode in Conductor doesn't give you that, which is pretty annoying. All right, let's see what the plan is here. Make the empty table slots actionable. Add an add from backlog functionality. When I click cold, silver, or bronze slot, shows things. Yeah, we're gonna have to do things differently for bronze than we do for gold and silver, but we can probably do this approach for gold and silver. Let's see, features, click outside dismissal, escape key to close, stream colored header accent, scrollable list with a max height, empty state, no items available with link to the sorting room. So some context here, when there are no items available, it should link to create new project in the drafting room. Search filter. Ooh, that's more than I would want. Leave off search for now. Too much complexity. All right, some new props, blah, blah, blah. Modify table bar component. Not really reading this code, by the way. I assume that there is plenty of high quality React code in here for it to copy patterns from. I don't need to really direct how it's creating components, including like storybook components and that kind of stuff. So empty slot hover state, pop over. I'm mainly looking for how does it plan to add this to the application, and I'm thinking about the product plan here. So let's just do this for gold and silver. I have a different plan for bronze, since since the bronze table slot can have multiple projects in it. All right, so I just gave it some feedback on the plan. It's going to go back into planning mode and work on that. Why is this saying there's uncommitted things? All right, man. So this is so weird. I've had some problems with this lately. This should have run lint and prettier locally and did not. And that's actually why I said, follow the process in Claude.md. So I'm gonna have to start making that task deterministic. Um, yeah, thanks. Ian comments that the popping noise is happening, but not a big deal. Yay, I get to track down like weird electrical pops in my setup at some point. Anyway, yeah, so this failing ESLint and Prettier is pretty annoying. This is something that Claude should have handled, but did not. Um, yeah, I'm thinking what I'm probably gonna end up doing is having a hook for, or even having a like script that gets run when creating a PR, and then we'll hopefully fix some of that stuff. All tests pass. Looks like maybe I don't know why it didn't push up its changes. That's also a weird thing. This is the kind of stuff where I really want to make it more deterministic so that I know when I'm asking the agent to do a thing that it will reliably do it. All right, so this looks good. It has made the changes. I'm especially looking for this component/new directory and where it's placing the components, because everything that's outside of that new directory, I'm actually going to blow up pretty soon. So, all right, approve the plan, go. So it'll start developing now. This one's got a PR out. We're going to wait for these guys to finish. We were trying to replicate this problem. Let's see if the simulator has finished downloading. Doesn't look like it even wants to run. Oh, okay, cool. New simulator. Perfect. iPad. We'll do an iPad Pro, first generation. Let's see. I don't know that it really matters which one of these we want to do. I think second gen was the first M1 iPad Pro. Here, we'll just do this one and go. iPad Pro M4. Oh yeah, that's the anyway. iPad Pro and whatever the most recent OS versions. Oh no, do I have to download OS versions? I don't normally do things with the iOS simulator. That's more of a Voito thing. A friend of mine that does a lot of work on simulator stuff. I'm just gonna like wing it here. I guess I do have my iPad Pro here right next to me, and I could actually test it locally. So iPad Pro, wee! And so I could give that a test and make sure that I did see that it was a problem on here. And I could go through and make sure, verify it once I get it up and running. All right, let's do that. Maybe I could take a screen grab from that's what I'll do. I'll load it up here and then I'll give the screen grab to the agent. All right, let's see. App, life build, boop, save. All right, screen grab, taken. Should go to photos. Open photos over here. There we go. So it should come up. Sync now. There it is. All right, cool. I think I can, wonder if I can just drag it in. Yes, I can. Awesome. On the iPad in Safari, I'm getting a scroll bar on all the screens. All right, we already have an issue for this. I don't need to type all this out again. I'm just providing the, yeah, so it's 557. So Command I, 557, ready, go. Plan mode, go. All right, we'll see what it comes up with. Looks like this one is still failing. on lint and prettier so that you can click the fix errors button and it'll point lint and prettier to it. Again, super dissatisfied with that flow. One of the things that's most annoying actually right now is that um, I can't I don't have my agents scripted such that when things happen in CI, that the agent that was working on the ticket needs to be notified of, that they get notified, like pinged on it. And so I end up having to basically play the gopher, running things back and forth between thing happened in GitHub, and you should know about it. Conductor does make that really easy to do. Like it's usually just clicking a button, and they often have the button up here in the UI, which I appreciate, but that's still me playing the gopher. And this is why a lot of people are working on like orchestrator agents, and this is what I'm talking about these are the kind of sort of manual work that you shouldn't have to be doing. All right, so that guy's busy, that guy's busy, and that guy's busy. So let's go pick up another. We're now up to 3 streams here. Let's go pick up another one. Oh, add in-app feedback button to the header. I've wanted to do this for a while. Yeah, cool. All right, let me like create a new one and feed it 558. Put it in plan mode and say go. All right. How about another one? +1. This one's now in progress. And the iPad one is in progress. Let's make sure we mark that too. See, all of this should be handled. Like I need to be able to see which tasks are actively in progress. And then beyond the task, like I need to see both the status of the task and the status of the agent at the same time. That's the like orchestration dashboard that would make it easier to go beyond 5 agents in progress. And then obviously setting up autonomous things would be even better. All right, let's see. So we've got that one is working. I also wish there was like a clearer visual tie between the name of the work stream, or sorry, the name of the work tree and the issue. I have to like manually do that mental map of in the UI, this little like over here, this work tree maps on this issue, which has this status. Like all this stuff needs to be brought together. And right now, this can get really frustrating. It's awesome that like 5 things are happening simultaneously, but it's also really frustrating that I end up having to do so much mental juggling and gymnastics to map between all of these things. All right, we've got a plan for the iPad scroll bar issue. Unwanted vertical space because H screen includes the address bar height in its calculation. When the address bar is visible, it causes scroll bars. Yeah. Yep. Classic iOS Safari problem. Replace it with dynamic viewport height. Great. Go for it. That seems like the right thing to do. All right, so that one's working. That one's working on the plan. All right, anybody waiting on me? No, there's still 3 checks pending over here on this one. Looks like lint and pretty are finally passed. All right, cool. So these are all in progress. Let's go see what else we can get going. What did I not mark in progress here? There's 5 things going, but only 3 are marked in progress right here. Re-add. See, this is exactly the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Like, I can't remember what it was that I started. Oh, I already fixed this severe input lag problem. That got fixed last night. Input agent limits and cost controls, not right now. Audit and fix gray color. Onboarding guidance to the life map. All right, I guess we'll just go through these one by one. Let's see, we've got, this one is, oh, okay, this is a new workspace. Only got 4 in progress right now. This is the feedback one, which is 558. This is 472. Oh, which is in review. I see. Oh, cool. It actually did set it to in review. That's kind of awesome. So that's one of the things I did put in the Claude.md is when you get a PR posted, you should automatically set it to in review. Sweet. So some of the automation worked out today. Tiny little bit of these kind of automations and moving things forward. So now you can see that there's 4 things in progress. Woohoo! which the 4 are over here. Let's find a 5th thing to get going while we're waiting on these. So this with the dot means that it's ready for me. So let me jump in here and do this one first. Changes are just formatting the updates from prettier. All right, let me remind myself, what is this? Make empty table slots actionable. Yes. Oh, okay, cool. So this is actually one that we're going to want to test. One of the things that I badly need on this project is actually per branch previews of basically a QA environment per branch. Would be so nice to have. And I know that it's entirely possible. It's on my list of like things to build the software factory down here, or I thought it was on my software factory list. Anyway, I do have a thing of like, let's make this easier to do it and set up previews. Anyway, so because I don't have software previews, I have to run locally, but check this out. This is a fun feature of Conductor. I have it configured such that I can only have one instance of the local host running at a time, which just saves on like port duplication and resource usage. So when I click run workspace on here, this node branch, it'll actually stop the other one. So boom, that one gets stopped. The next one stands up. And this is running an entirely different work tree, so it has to do all the configuration, all that kind of stuff. I'll have to create a new user because I'm on a new copy of the app. All right, so let's jump out of here to 6001. Hopefully this guy will. I should not be logged in here. There is some weird. Okay, cool. Yeah. There is some weird thing happening with staying logged in when you shouldn't, but I'm not really worried about that because it's not like the environment is going to switch out underneath you randomly. It's kind of a local host only problem. Otherwise, I would track it down. All right, we've got a new account here. Let's go ahead and log in. And now we're looking for, all right, so click to add. Oh, you stink. It put the thing below. All right, so something I like to think about, what I used to do to fix this kind of problem is I would take a screenshot and paste it in, and then I would say, yo, you put the selector menu below the table, which is off the screen, and give it that kind of feedback. The way more interesting way to think about solving this problem is if it were in a browser actually looking at this, would it be able to use it? So I do have Playwright MCP set up. I believe I have it set up inside of Conductor. I definitely have it set up in my Claude code in a terminal. So this is one of those things of like, do I stop and fix the process, which will then make all subsequent PRs after this much better? Or do I just continue implementing this particular feature? For the sake of this live stream, I'm just going to continue implementing this feature because my point is to demonstrate sort of the overwhelm of having 5 agents working simultaneously. But what I would want to do here is actually stop and fix the line. So if you thought of this like a factory line, this like a station on the line, you got a problem on the line that could have been caught if the agent had the right tool. And so I want to make sure I stop, give it the right tool, and then restart the line, as opposed to just fixing it manually. But we're going to fix it manually just for this one time. What I will say, though, is I do have the tool of making it do end-to-end tests. So make an end-to-end Playwright test that utilizes this feature to make sure that it actually works in practice. I believe that Playwright will handle this correctly since there's not anything, since this is off the screen, it will actually not allow clicking on it, even if the right elements are in the dropdown. So, all right, here we go. So now we're going to set this guy off. Fun thing is writing end-to-end tests like this is super cheap to have an agent do and super durable to know that the right thing's happening. All right, over here on this one, I've got to answer a question. You can see this little guy right here, answer question. What should the feedback button look like? An emoji icon only. Why would it be a light bulb that matches the chat button style? We do have this silly chat button here. I've got so much work to do on the UI. And I could do another live stream where I work on UI, which is like a little bit different than what I'm currently doing now, which is like feature edition stuff. But maybe for another day, I'll do some UI work. All right, text. I'll probably just do text only for now because I am going to be changing all of this stuff around, like the way that the header looks and works with some of the new UI changes that I have coming. Let's go ahead and submit that. All right, so I just submit that answer, and it's going to work on. It's going to integrate that into the plan, and then come back to me when the plan is ready. All right, so the iPad scrollable thing is ready to go. Let's take over. Actually, okay, yeah. Let's take over the. You know what? I'm confident enough in this fix that I think I'm going to have it. What's up here? It's not showing the current status in Conductor right now. Let's wait for my decision on how to proceed. Something weird happened here. Oh, did I accidentally type something incorrectly? Oh, weird. Okay. Implement. I must have sent this character, which like broke plan mode somehow. Not sure what's up with that. Yes, please implement. All right. Again, like this is a perfect example, another good example of how things can go wrong in this multi setup. I had a worker that's like sitting there needing feedback, and I can't tell that there's like a task on the line that's stuck at a specific point, and it's something super simple of like I just need to go over there and say, yeah, implement this thing, and I need something that's way more obvious in the UI of it. They're like raising its hand really big, like, hey, I need input, like help me out here. And yeah, so pretty annoying. All right, let's see what the post hog plan looks like. Add in-app feedback button. Files to modify. We're still in components new, which is good. An environment variable type. I guess there's something in post hog that we need an in variable for. Veet post hog feedback survey ID. Okay, cool. Post hog dashboard survey is your surveys. Apparently that's how we're going to set this up. Configure the survey questions, copy the ID, add to the NV files. Great. Add button to trigger. This is interesting. Okay. It must be triggering something. Okay, here's import use post hog. Okay. So this is why we do planning. I currently don't, and again, I would probably be using Super Whisper for this. I would be using Super Whisper for this, but you couldn't hear anything I'm saying. So I'll just try to type as quickly as I can. So I don't currently import use post hog. I think it's called use post hog. What is it? Yeah. Directly because of issues with analytics blocking. Instead, we have a post hog worker that handles redirecting. Take a look and see if you need to use that pattern instead of loading directly, lest you be blocked by browsers. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. All right. So there's feedback on the plan. This one over here should be done now. Follow process in Claude and create a PR. All right. This should be a really small change, and we might, whoa, what in the world? Looks like some blank lines crept in that got linted. All right, so yeah, it's just this one DVH change and this one DVH change here. Yeah, and I think I will probably end up straight up deploying this, but we can see if we can run it locally on my iPad and verify it. All right, back over to Worker Century. Again, you guys, whew. All right, we've got one, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can barely keep up with 4, giving them the input and feedback that they need before they're like ready for the next thing. Now these things are all pretty small. Sometimes the tasks are a little chunkier, a little bigger. It might take twice as long or 3 times as long, but still, same idea applies. Okay, add in-app button. Uh, what did it? How did it respond? The pattern's fine. The post hog worker is a server-side reverse proxy that routes post hog requests through the first-party domain. The client-side code still uses the standard use post hog hook and post.capture. Proxy works because the post hog SDK is configured with. Okay, gotcha. So the SDK points at that post, and because it's on the same domain, we're good. Okay, cool. All right, approve. Get out there, fix it, go, go, go. What is up with 4.6 lately? Like it created a PR and didn't commit. Um, I guess they really want me to move to 4.7. Or I mean 4.6. What is up with 4.5? This is new. This is the second time it's done this today where it has not created the actual um, thing we needed. All right, let's see. Um, should be good here. Commit and push changes. Great. Let's watch for all these checks to pass. Once all the checks pass, we'll see about merging it. And you'll notice that like probably not going to look at the code. Once the checks pass, merge, we're good. All right, let me see. Do we have any? Nope. Still running the latest version of Conductor. Man, why is it not shipped yet? Waiting on Conductor. Grimace. All right, let's see. So where we're at now is we have our 4 agents working away. I've still got this one that's not doing anything, sitting idle. Let's see. This one might be ready to merge. We've got activate the table. Ah, okay, cool. Activate the table. Did you what? Create PR. Node server health check. Hmm. Something is off here. Activate the tables there. And this is what? 473. Oh, okay. I remember now. But this still seems off here, the node server health check. Why is it called node server health check? All right, cool. That I'm not sure why it gave it this particular branch name. So that's kind of, again, this is like stuff like that drives me crazy and it takes you out of flow. Like, wait, why does it have a weird branch name? Yeah. All right. Whatever. It is doing the right thing. This guy for 473, which is this one, 473. Here we go. Make empty table slots actionable is working on an intent test as it should be, and 567 is waiting on feedback. Or 472 is waiting on feedback. Woo! All right, let's see. jump over here to the PR itself. So a couple things to note when I get to this stage. I actually have cursor bugbot as a review step automatically, but I have not made Codex an auto review. So I'll come in and ask Codex to do a review, and then we'll see how that goes. One of the things that's nice in Conductor is it shows the um, comments over here, and you can add them to chat to be acted upon to like fix things. I'm going to go ahead and hide the please review one because that one's not relevant. All right, we're back in this one now. Bouncing back over to here. Let's go. It says it's fixed the thing and wrote a test for it. So let's see how this works. So we'll reload. All right, if I click here, there we go. Add initiative from backlog. Pretty, create a new project. Sweet, that switched me over to the drafting room. Let's like test project. In the health category, we'll make it an initiative. I want something good to happen. Continue to stage 3. Test 2. We'll add to the sorting room. All right, now if I go to the life map, I see that I have one project in the health category in the sorting room. I should be able to come down here, and it shows it here, and then I can activate it. Heck yeah. The one thing I note here is that when I'm in the sorting room and I activate a project, so I can release this project, I get like a popover that warns me of what I'm about to do. I guess down here, it's fine. Huh. Cool. So this now links to the project. I like this. This is not bad. Definitely makes it more obvious what you're doing. Again, I have a lot of problems with this interface right now that I'm going to hopefully fix in a broader design suite. But for now, this should hopefully make it easier for people to click around and kind of figure out what they need to do in various areas. Top align that and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just not going to obsess too much over the design since I'm going to do such a comprehensive design overhaul soon. All right. So then let's go ahead and create a PR. Do not know why it's not creating a PR right away. It should have some tweaks here. All right, and now let's see. We're in, it's so weird, worker century init. These branch names are just horrible. They're not branch, work tree names. Well, they are branches and work trees. All right, add a feedback button to the header. Is this ready? Oh, cool. All right, so it looks like it is ready. Let's go ahead and have it create a PR while I'm testing it. That way the CI checks can be run. I hit run the server here, so it started it up and stopped the other one. That's going to need to go here. Oh, yeah, it'll log out. All right, sign up. I actually had automated adding this account, but still having trouble getting it to run every single time. All right. That way I always have a default user when I'm in development mode. Okay, so we're expecting a feedback button up here. When I click it, something should happen. And it looks like nothing is happening. Looking feedback. What happens? All right. So clicking the feedback button, not working. Making an in test. Make sure it checks. Since the PR is created now, I'm going to go ahead and ask Codex to do a review as well. Again, this should be automated, right? Like even the loop between code review and back again should be automated. I shouldn't have to come through and be like, hey, do the review. Hey, there's a review waiting for you. All right, working. All right, so we got about 4 of these things going on right now. There was a couple other ones that I thought I'd like to get started today. They may not be in the alpha fast follows though. Onboarding guidance, the table, reduce friction, re-add urgency, important effort. Oh yeah, I'd love to do that. Um, oh, I definitely want this one. This is a pretty minor one, but will help me log. Um, go ahead and add this one. I was not calling post hog identify, um, or no, brain trust identify. Wait, this is not the right thing. Okay, so it's initialized call likely. Let me go ask my little project management buddy to do this for me. So another thing that's kind of cool is I've been using Claude bot to do my project management for me. Um, I had an issue to the alpha fast follows for calling post hog identify so that product analytics knows which user. Looks like you created 562 about brain trust, but should that have been about posthog? Cool. So that'll hit my Claude bot, which will has a copy of the repo locally and has my project management instructions, and it can go create these issues for me much faster than I can type them in, along with like all the detail around it. And it'll ask me the necessary questions. So it's kind of a level of planning-ish, but what I think of it is the plan that Conductor puts together is a technical plan, an implementation plan. Here's the code that I'm going to change. Here's how I'm going to change it in the UI. The plan that I'm doing at this level is more of the project management plan of here's the thing that I want to get done. All right. Come on, Pat. All right, let's see. Oh, 564 is already there. Cool, cool, cool. Great, great, great. And I love that it went and found out. Yeah, put 5, 6. Actually, I think I can just do it myself. I think this is actually one that's pretty easy. 564, maybe? Wow. Why is the thing so slow? Oh, maybe it's not even on the board. Maybe it's not even like added to the project management or the GitHub project. All right, well, that'll come up soon. What is this user store context for per user? Oh, for per user cost tracking. Yeah, that's a good one we want to do as well. But the one for post hog is actually more important because I get a better picture of how individual users are using the app. Um, so I get things like this here. Yeah, here's an example of how one user used the app yesterday. Signed up at 9:41. After login, poked at the life map briefly, then the drafting room, then back to the life map. Pretty cool detail. Oh, gotcha. So I did reconfigure my CloudBot to give it more limited privileges recently. Let me go and do the approval real quick. Claude control, boom. Just set up CloudBot like 2 days ago or a day and a half ago, so I'm still getting the hang of like what's the appropriate level of permission. Um, no, 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 no. All right. Sometimes it like loses its way here still and seems to have like context problems. All right, let's see if it figures out from this. Anyway, all right. Let me put that away for a second. And let's, now that we know that 564 is the one that we want, I'm going to come in here and remove this and add 564. Yes, that's the one I want. This one should be simple enough just to implement without create a PR, follow process in Claude D. All right. This one looks like it might be ready. Cool. Is it still running? It is. All right. So I'm going to open the localhost 6000 and see if I can test it out. Feedback. Still not doing anything. Oh, I have to create a survey in the prototype dashboard first. Okay. I see. Should display feedback button. Should be clickable without errors when server ID is configured. Oh ho! New updates available. Looks like nothing is running. Oh, I'm waiting on this one to finish running. As soon as this finishes running, we can hit hit it and get the new models. Woohoo! It's like Christmas Day. All right, yeah. So in the meantime, let's go create our post hog survey. Let's see. Say to go post hog surveys. There were some instructions on how to do this. Surveys, new survey. Where is that? Product analytics, maybe? Oh, you don't see it. Marketing analytics, dashboards. Wait, that's under dashboards. Maybe there's some other place for it. Search. Surveys. Hey, there we go. New survey. Boom. Great. Help me design this survey and post hog. I'll just do whatever it is that Conductor does. Send feedback. I want what Conductor. Email address of team at sociotechnica.org. And I could probably set up a team at lifebuild.me, but we'll do that for now. Tell me how to configure posthog. Let's say we'll call this product feedback. Description optional. Give us feedback on your product. So let's see. Oh, can you like dynamically edit that? Oh, question one. Give us feedback on your product. Feedback description. A real human will read your message. Also reach us at team@sociotechnica.org. Maybe I'll make that a href equals mail to link at sociotechnica.org. Cool. That makes a nice little link there. Current question. Oh, do I want to be able to attach things? Can I attach things? That would be cool. Why is it not letting me scroll left? Save as draft. Where'd it go? Product feedback. Let me edit again. There we go. Freeform text. Cool. And I can't do a link. That's what I would like to do. Okay, let's go back over to this. Let's see. Create the survey. Done. Create a blank survey. In-app feedback is an internal name. Yeah, sure. In-app feedback. Display mode popover. I think that's right. Save changes. Display mode. Configure. Done. Cool. Freeform text, scheduled one. So yeah, display mode popover. Perfect. There we go. Title feedback. A real human will read your message. You can also reach us with that. Great. Targeting. Set targeting to manual trigger only since your button. So targeting. Is there a targeting thing? What's your survey? There must be a targeting thing here. Let's see. Preview results. Freeform text. Display conditions. Survey will display to everyone. I don't want to display it to everyone. I want it to be manual. Let me see. Here we go. Questions. Here we go. Where should this appear? All pages can once ever? There's the question. When? Okay. Manual trigger. When an event is captured. This is survey shown will be the event and show every time it's captured. That should work. And then it'll show on all pages. Come on. How often will I see it? Often. I mean, like, as many times as they click the button. There shouldn't be a limit. Let's paste this into asking me. All right, try that. See if it'll go figure that out for me. Get the survey ID. We'll just say once ever for now, and then save the changes. Delay before 0 seconds before showing it. Save. And where's the survey ID? Copy. There's feedback, edit, launch. I guess I'll probably have to hit launch in order to get the ID. Although maybe that's the ID. I don't know. We'll find out in just a second. Close that. Yeah, the setting controls how often the same user can see the survey. Oops. Close the syncing. For a feedback button the users click intentionally, you want them to be able to submit it whenever they want. Select every month. It's the most permissive. This is still limiting look for a no limit or unlimited option. Or in the targeting display mode API manual, which bypasses this frequency limit entirely. I did set it to manual, so maybe it doesn't matter. I'll just let it go. Hit launch survey. Here we go. Okay. We need to update our SDK. Cool. Posthog says we need to update our SDK. Please do. Great. All right, we're coming up on the end of my time. Okay, so it's been just over an hour, and I've kind of shown a little bit of like getting down in the weeds, working with multiple conductors in multiple agents in Conductor and keeping them fed. And as you can see, there's lots of little paper cuts in the process. Lots of little paper cuts in the process where you actually you end up doing a lot of escorting the task, figuring out which one's working here, which of the conductor session should I click on in that in the conductor panel. What's their current status? What do they need? And also, it's really hard as a developer because you're having to context switch continually between those 5 or so tasks that are all doing radically different things too. Like one might be in the planning phase where you're thinking about product design and where that feature fits. Another might be in the code review phase where it's gone all the way through code review and you need to kind of do some architectural check-ins or that kind of stuff. Others just might need human input on the development process of like, hey, I could go this way or this way. Which one do you want? And so that kind of cognitive overhead geez, I have to like switch between all these different things. And then there's just the like going in and typing at codex please review as opposed to having that be automated. Or the couple of times today where it created a pull request and didn't even push up all the code. What was that about? So there's lots of little like just tiny little paper cuts in this process that make it really frustrating. And I think this is why people are building the orchestration layers, because I think a lot of people have gotten to the place where I'm at right now, where they're running 4 or 5 different workers simultaneously, doing different tasks in the system, and are ended up having to switch between them constantly. And there's all kinds of places where the ball just gets slightly dropped. And so my goal over the next few weeks and months is to adopt more of a factory line mindset where I'm actually trying to make sure that these tasks that happen at individual stages of the software development lifecycle, whether it's the planning stage or the code review or the implementation stage, that there's consistency in those steps. And so there aren't little balls that are dropped by the agent's non-determinism, but they're actually doing things somewhat deterministically when that's possible. And anyway, so I hope this was fun. I hope that you enjoyed like the deep dive into life build world and just shipping stuff in Conductor, and kind of can see the state of the art of my flow as of February 5th, 2026. And yeah, who knows though? Opus 4.6 and GPT 5.3 both dropped today, 2 hours ago, and maybe the world just changed again. We'll see. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll try to do more of these and get people up to speed.